It's a clean start and what a race. A huge roar from the expectant crowd. Great start from Coleman, we expect that. Can Lyles come through? It's very, very tight. It's Noah Lyles!
After more than 2 months away from the track, Noah Lyles just told the world exactly where he's coming back. And trust me, this is not just another race announcement. On December 3rd, the Olympic 100-meter champion revealed he'll be racing at the new Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston on January 24th, 2026. This will be his first competition of the year, and he's going after something special. Lyles is chasing his 5th straight victory at this exact same event. Let me tell you why this is a big deal. Since 2022, Noah Lyles has not lost a single 60-meter race at the new Balance Indoor Grand Prix. Not one. He's won 4 years in a row, and now he's coming back for number 5. His personal best at this meet is 6.44 seconds, which also happens to be the meet record. He set that time in 2024, and everyone will be watching to see if he can break it.
Good start from Blake in 3 there. Noah Lyles got some work to do. He's coming back at Blake. Is he going to get there? Yes, he is. Lyles and Blake, Curly nowhere in it. Those two battling away, and I'll tell you what, the lightning quick start from Blake in lane 3.
But here's the thing. Lyles' 2025 season was anything but normal. Most people remember him as the guy who dominated the World Championships in Tokyo, winning his 4th straight 200-meter title. What they don't know is how hard he had to fight just to get there. The year started terribly for Noah. A tendon injury stopped him from racing until July. That's right, the Olympic champion couldn't even compete for the first half of the season. When reporters asked him about it at the Lausanne Diamond League, he admitted the truth. Lyles said, "Yeah, I'd say that this is probably my most wild and unexpected year with having an injury, kind of having it in the middle of the season, kind of setting back when I was able to start it." So what did he do? He turned his season into a comeback story. His first race back was at the Monaco Diamond League in July, and he didn't just show up. He won the 200 meters in 19.88 seconds, beating Olympic champion Lyles Tebogo. It was revenge for losing to Tebogo at the Paris Olympics the year before. But the road to Tokyo wasn't smooth. Lyles lost races he normally wins. Jamaica's Seville beat him twice in the 100 meters at London and Lausanne. Thompson defeated him at the Silesia Diamond League. These were races Lyles expected to win, but he stayed calm. After losing to Thompson, he said, "I am getting the confidence. It makes me really excited for Tokyo. The more I run, the better I am getting." Then came the US National Championships in Eugene on August 3rd. This is where things got heated. Lyles faced Kenny Bednarek in the 200-meter final, and their rivalry exploded. Lyles won with a time of 19.63 seconds, which was the fastest time in the world for 2025. But as he crossed the finish line, he stared right at Bednarek. The two sprinters have a complicated history, and this race made it worse. Bednarek pushed Lyles after they finished. The crowd went crazy. Eventually, Bednarek offered a handshake, and Lyles took it. But when reporters asked about the drama, Lyles kept it simple. On coach's orders, no comment. He said with a smile.
As Noah Lyles tries to reel him in, Lyles slightly ahead and looks over and says, "I'm still the world champion," and a little bit of a push there at the end as the rivalry comes into view. He's still the man. You better believe he's going to stop.
The season wasn't over yet. Lyles had one more big test before the World Championships. The Diamond League final in Zurich on August 28th was his chance to prove he was ready. And what a race it was. Lyles came from behind to beat Tebogo by just 0.02 seconds. His time was 19.74, and it gave him his 6th Diamond League title. That made him the most successful track athlete in Diamond League history. Standing there with his trophy, Lyles couldn't hide his excitement. He said, "6 is a big number. I heard that is the highest number in track. Another record on the list, and it is pretty nice to have that." Now it was time for Tokyo. The World Championships were being held in the same stadium where Lyles won bronze at the 2021 Olympics. Back then, he was depressed and struggling. The COVID lockdown had been hard on him, and he ran in an almost empty stadium. This time was different. The 100-meter race came first, and Lyles didn't win. He took home the bronze medal with a time of 9.89 seconds. Seville from Jamaica won gold, proving that beating Lyles earlier in the season wasn't just luck. But Lyles didn't seem worried. He knew the 200 meters was coming.
Well, it was a reasonably good start by Lyles, and it isn't always. Blake running well, and so too Albelushi on the far side. Now Lyles coming through, 9.95.
On September 18th, Lyles ran the semifinals and set the fastest time of 2025 with 19.51 seconds. Everyone knew what was coming next. The final was set for September 19th, and the crowd of almost 59,000 people was ready. The race started and Jamaica's Brian Level took the early lead. At the halfway point, his split time was 10.03 seconds. Bednarek, Lyles, and Tebogo were all right behind him. But then Lyles did what Lyles does best. He turned on his speed and started pulling away. Bednarek tried to catch him, pushing hard all the way to the line, but Lyles held him off. The time was 19.52 seconds. Lyles won his 4th straight 200-meter world title, matching the great Usain Bolt. As he crossed the line, he raised 4 fingers to the crowd and shouted into the TV camera.
Up on Bednarek, they're all side by side with 60 meters to go. They're still side by side with 50. Lyles trying to find something. He stretches away. It is a global title again for Noah Lyles. 4 in a row.
But he wasn't done yet. Lyles anchored the US team in the 4x100-meter relay final and helped them win gold with a time of 37.29 seconds. 3 medals at 1 World Championships: bronze in the 100, gold in the 200, and gold in the relay. Just like he did in Budapest 2 years earlier. And just like that, Lyles had gone from injured and struggling to world champion once again. He matched Usain Bolt's record of 4 straight 200-meter world titles. No one else in history has done that, only Bolt and Lyles. But Noah isn't satisfied. Right after winning in Tokyo, he made his next goal clear. He said, "I can't wait for 2027 to become the only man to win 5 200-meter titles. The 2027 World Championships will be in Beijing, and Lyles wants to break Bolt's record." Now let's talk about what's coming next. The new Balance Indoor Grand Prix is a huge deal. It's part of the World Athletics Indoor Tour Gold Series, which means the winners get $10,000 in prize money. But that's not all. Winners also get automatic entry into the 2026 World Indoor Championships in Poland, scheduled for March 20th through 22nd. The competition in Boston won't be easy. We don't know the full list of runners yet, but last year's silver medalist Terrence Jones and bronze medalist P.I. Austin will probably be back, and there's talk that Olympic champion Marcel Jacobs might show up too. If he does, Lyles will have a real fight on his hands. But Lyles knows this track. He's raced at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix 8 times now, starting way back in 2016 when he won the New Balance Nationals Indoor as a high school kid. He came back in 2022 and won the 60 meters in 6.56 seconds. Then he won again in 2023, 2024, and February 2025 when he ran 6.52 seconds. In a November interview, Lyles hinted that 2026 would be special. "Keep your head up and your eyes open. I think 2026 will be very big," he told WWD Magazine. Now we're starting to see what he meant. January 24th is just the beginning. After Boston, Lyles will decide if he wants to compete at the World Indoor Championships in Poland.